This page features a dynamic cover showcasing Spider-Man ready for action, set against a web-like background with the iconic Nintendo Power logo prominently displayed. The top banner announces a contest to win a Zora guitar, hinting at The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask content within. The cover highlights in-depth strategies for Tom and Jerry in Fists of Fury, Majora's Mask, focusing on Happy Mask hunting, and Banjo-Tooie Part 2. It also lists GBC guides for Mega Man Stream, Powerpuff Girls Combo, Metal Walker, and Robopon, Sun version. Special subscriber bonus features mentioned include a 16-page insert, a Pokemon poster, and static stickers. This issue promises a solid mix of strategy and guides for both Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color titles, featuring a popular Marvel character crossover. This page showcases The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, featuring dynamic art of Link and the Skull Kid under a menacing moon. It positions Nintendo Power as the source for uncovering the game's secrets and navigating its challenging 3-day time loop, stating it will keep you from being a scrub. The page offers a subscription to Nintendo Power at a discounted price, including a free gift like The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask Player's Guide, or Soundtrack CD, or the Banjo-Tooie Player's Guide. You can subscribe by calling 1-800-255-3700 or visiting nintendopower.com to save over 66% and get the help you need. This page is an advertisement for Star Wars Episode 1: Battle for Naboo on Nintendo 64. It features combat over land, sea, and space as players fight to repel the droid invasion and save Naboo. This page serves as the table of contents for Volume 140 from January 2001, featuring impressive artwork of Spider-Man. The issue dives deep into game strategies, including an extensive guide for Spider-Man's N64 debut, a walkthrough continuation for Banjo-Tooie, coverage of Zelda: Majora's Mask's Happy Mask Hunt, and reviews for Tom and Jerry in Fists of Fury, Mega Man Stream, Metal Walker, and Star Wars. Episode 1: Obi-Wan's Adventures. Special features explore 80 Conan Chronicles and a Game Boy Color preview. The regular departments cover player letters, game news, online updates, and various fan sections like the Poke Center and Players Poll. Highlighted articles showcase the quest for Happy Masks in Zelda: Majora's Mask, a detailed review of the Chowdic fun in Tom and Jerry and Fists of Fury, and an in-depth look at the action in Mega Man Stream. This page is the Player's Pulse section, showcasing a variety of letters from readers. It features a new layout designed to include more player input. Players write in about diverse experiences, from learning real-world skills like driving, vocabulary, and languages, through games like Harvest Moon 64, WWF Warzone, and Mario is Missing, to reflecting on classic titles like Castlevania 2 and the impact of games like Mario Tennis. The letter of the month highlights an observation about masks in Zelda: Majora's Mask. Other letters discuss game price points, strange translations in Ogre Battle, the lessons taught by games like Kirby 64, the peculiar dialogue at Pokemon centers, and the pros and cons of fairy companions like Navi from Ocarina of Time compared to the one from Majora's Mask. The page includes various screenshots and fan art related to the discussed games. The next page continues the Player's Pulse section, filled with more letters from dedicated Nintendo fans. Readers touch on a variety of topics, including missing iconic characters like Navi, questions about game compatibility for titles such as Pokemon Stadium and future consoles, and observations on how games like Tony Hawk Pro Skater changed on Nintendo platforms. There's excitement, as the winner of an Excitebike 64 contest is announced. The page also features the Power Chart, highlighting the all-time chart toppers, showcasing games that have consistently ranked high, including beloved series like Mario, Zelda, and Metroid. Other letters dive into specific details about R.OB's game library and character behaviors in Mario Tennis. Finally, the magazine actively seeks reader input on new features like the Now Playing rating system. Illustrations and screenshots related to the discussed games are scattered throughout. The next page presents the magazine's Artists Gallery, a section dedicated to showcasing fan-submitted artwork. This gallery features diverse pieces depicting characters and scenes from various popular titles like Mortal Kombat, Crystalis, Pokemon, Metroid, The Legend of Zelda, and the Mario series. The introduction mentions this section welcomes all art and plans to feature specific games or series occasionally, starting with Harvest Moon. Alongside the gallery is a large advertisement for Disney's Donald Duck Goin' Quackers. The ad features key art of Donald Duck and several screenshots illustrating gameplay across different platforms including PlayStation 2, PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and Game Boy Color. The game's description highlights Donald's quest to rescue Daisy by defeating the evil magician Murloc and collecting parts for a teleporter. It's advertised as available in November 2000. This page announces the magazine's regular news column is evolving from Packwatch to GameWatch, promising the same coverage but with design changes reflecting future Nintendo hardware like the GameCube, which is pictured. It lists several games covered this month, including Star Wars, Episode 1, Hercules and Xena, Hype, The Time Quest, and Zelda for Game Boy Color, with screenshots from each. The main feature previews the upcoming Pokémon Stadium GS for Nintendo 64, highlighting its key feature, compatibility with Pokémon from the Gold and Silver Game Boy Color versions via the transfer pack. It details the game's many new additions, including 12 mini-games, 4 new tournaments, a free battle mode, and a Pokémon school. Screenshots showcase battles with various Pokémon from the Gold and Silver generation. The North American release is confirmed for March 26, 2001. This page dives into upcoming games, kicking off with Star Wars. Episode 1, Battle for Naboo on 64. It's a mission-based flight and fight sim from LucasArts and Factor 5, featuring cool vehicles, excellent graphics, and challenging missions across the Kamid and Naboo. Next up is the Buzz on Pinobee Quest of Heart for Game Boy Advance, a platformer from Hudson Soft featuring a unique Bee character, exploration, and precise controls with impressive audio. Hercules and Xena link up details how their GBC games allow character exchange via GameLink cable, affecting inventory and unlocking new areas. Finally, The Mystery of Zelda covers 2 GBC Zelda games in Japan, Gaia and Time and Space, highlighting a password system allowing progress and items to carry over, even changing scenarios. The screenshots showcase the action in all 4 titles. 16. Nintendo Power Volume 140. GameWatch. 17. This page brings the latest gaming news with Insidle and previews upcoming titles in the GameWatch forecast. An exclusive look at Dragon Warrior 2i for Game Boy Color is featured, highlighting its improved visuals and massive scale, based on the classic NES RPG and featuring Akira Toriyama's art. We also see glimpses of Toy Story Racer, a 3D kart racer on GBC with movie characters and environments, and Disney's The Emperor's New Groove, a side-scrolling platformer where you play as Kuzco the llama. Tom and Jerry in Mouse Attacks gets a mention as a solid GBC platformer. The GameWatch forecast lists upcoming titles across Nintendo 64, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, noting that the GBA list includes some Japanese releases. Screenshots throughout the page showcase the action in several of these upcoming games. This page explores the online world of Nintendo, starting with Quick Bites, highlighting NintendoPower.com tines for games like Spider-Man and Mega Man Stream, alongside an expanded Zelda.com now featuring an encyclopedia and content covering all Link's adventures. It also teases upcoming website launches for major titles in early 2001. The hit list reveals the most popular game-specific Nintendo sites, including Pokemon.com and Zelda.com, noting the overall traffic. Dedicated features showcase the PokemonPuzzleChallenge.com site for Game Boy Color, detailing game codes, trainer challenges, and a Shockwave game, and DonkeyKongCountry.net for the GBC title, offering level tips and bonus area info. Sites for Disney's Little Mermaid Pinball Frenzy and Alice in Wonderland on GameBoy.com are also mentioned, providing screenshots and wallpapers. The page concludes with a comprehensive list of Nintendo-related websites, clarifying that the NP logo signifies movie content available on NintendoPower.com. This page presents a stylish layout featuring 3 vignettes, designed like the classic James Bond gun barrel sequence. Each circle highlights an iconic item associated with 007. The first shows a watch, identified below as a grappling hook. The second features a pen, labeled as a nuclear detonator. Finally, the third displays a sleek silver BMW Z8 Roadster, described as a missile launcher. This page is clearly highlighting some of the signature gadgets and vehicles you'll encounter in a James Bond game, very likely tied to the movie The World Is Not Enough, given the prominent inclusion of the Z8. It sets the stage for some action-packed spy gameplay, featuring Bond's signature clever and explosive tools. This page swings into action with the Spider-Man game on the Nintendo 64. It gives you the rundown on how to play as everyone's favorite web-slinger, detailing his combat abilities like brawling, kick, and grab for taking down baddies. The page also emphasizes his signature web slinging for traversing the city and using moves like the zip line and web targeting. A dedicated section breaks down Spidey's varied web weaponry, showcasing attacks such as the web trap to immobilize enemies, the web yank to pull them around, the impact webbing, the explosive web dome, and web spikes for extra punch power. As a bonus for fans, the game includes unlockable content like a comic collection featuring classic covers and a character viewer to examine the different characters you meet in the game. It's a comprehensive look at how the game puts you in Spider-Man's boots. This page dives deeper into the Spider-Man game, showcasing the various costumes you can unlock, each with potential special attributes, like the symbiote suit, offering unlimited webbing. It details the training modes, perfect for honing your skills with challenges like time attack and item collection, rewarding you with alternate suits like the Peter Parker or quick change outfits. The spotlight then shifts to the bank heist level, a key mission where you must navigate to the bank amidst thugs and rescue hostages. Maps illustrate the bank approach and the hostage situation inside, guiding you through battling henchmen and discovering hidden collector's comics, sometimes found by interacting with the environment like picking up a chair. Black Cat is also mentioned as an ally, providing initial guidance. This page continues the guide for the Spider-Man game, picking up after the bank heist to focus on disarming a bomb the robbers activated. You'll need to secure it in the vault and can find a comic nearby. Next, it details the battle against the Scorpion, driven by his grudge against J. Jonah Jameson. The strategy involves webbing him and destroying furniture to uncover a hidden comic. You'll then race across town to the Daily Bugle, needing to reach the newspaper icon before Jameson, with another comic waiting on the edge of reality building. Finally, the guide covers the intense police helicopter chase, where evading guided missiles is key. Cleverly baiting a missile to hit a box will reveal a comic on the final building. This page continues the Spider-Man game guide, starting with the building top chase where you'll evade police reinforcements by leaping between buildings, with a comic hidden in a crane booth. Navigating Scale the Girders requires careful movement, and you can find a comic on a ledge before reaching the level's end. The police evaded section involves more running and swinging. Break a skylight and defeat the SWAT officers inside to get your hands on a comic. The guide then details the Spidey vs. Rhino fight, where you must bait him into hitting generators and barrels to defeat him and unlock another comic. You also get an introduction to Venom, highlighting his power and motivation for kidnapping Mary Jane. The Catch Venom chase challenges you to find shortcuts, with 2 comics waiting along the route. Finally, the Spidey vs. Venom boss fight suggests tossing a car at the start for a comic and maintaining distance while web slinging. This page continues the Spider-Man guide, detailing several sewer levels and a subway section. In the sewer entrance, backtrack at the start to find a comic, then proceed through the area facing tough lizardmen. The subway section puts you on a moving train fighting more lizardmen, picking up power-ups as you go. The sewer plant requires a detour early on for a comic near health and webbing, and later involves activating a series of switches to lower water levels, with a challenging final switch. The sewer cavern utilizes swinging mechanics. Make sure to take a side trip behind a waterfall to grab a comic and the Spidey armor power-up before heading for the exit via vertical pipes. Hidden switches has you navigate a room with toxic water, hitting 4 switches to lower it, then revisiting the 3rd switch's location for a comic. Finally, in Tunnel Crawl, time your movements to avoid rising water and hit switches, finding 2 comics along the way to the exit. This page continues the Spider-Man guide, detailing more challenges in the sewers. Venom's puzzle requires you to use remote switches to open 4 doors blocking Venom's escape, noting that you can potentially open the path in just 2 moves. The Lizard's Maze reveals Venom's hideout is actually the Lizard's. You navigate the sewer ceiling to reach the Lizard for directions, unlocking a comic. Following the Lizard's instructions leads to the final confrontation with Venom, with a map showing the path. Spidey vs. Venom again advises staying central in the room and using impact webbing on Venom after hitting switches to raise the water level, focusing on saving Mary Jane. A watch out, webheads! Message motivates players, teasing upcoming supervillain encounters. The right side of the page features a large advertisement for The World Is Not Enough, showcasing James Bond and highlighting the game's gadgets, weapons, and first-person action on Nintendo 64. This page introduces the fantasy RPG Aiden Chronicles. The First Mage, adopting a storytelling approach to recount the tale of the protagonist, Alacron. It details his dramatic childhood survival and adoption by King Lloyd, explaining how his destiny is tied to his name and magic. The article highlights the importance of gathering allies for Alacron's quest, mentioning key companions such as the knight Sir Abracan, the alchemist Godric, the wizard Rita, and the thief Brenna. Players can recruit over a dozen different characters from various classes and races, offering unique party compositions for each playthrough. Screenshots provide glimpses of the game's world and character models, emphasizing the depth of the adventure that awaits. This page continues the exploration of 80s Seng Chronicles, shifting focus to the game's combat and magic systems. It describes the variety of fearsome enemies Alacron and his party will face, from goblins to chaos monsters. The article explains the turn-based combat, emphasizing strategy and the use of various weapons and armor, noting the clever enemy AI that targets vulnerable party members. Magic is detailed, covering the 4 distinct schools: elemental, sky, naming, and necromancy, and how spells are learned and require ingredients. Screenshots showcase the battle interface, strategic positioning, and a powerful wizard character. The piece concludes by praising the game's epic scope, deep story, unique combat, and clever AI, calling it a fulfilling RPG experience. This page dives into the 5th world of Banjo-Tooie, the prehistoric Pterodactyland. Acting as a guide, it details the challenges and collectibles within this vast dinosaur land, a stark contrast to previous, more tropical locales. The article highlights new abilities like the springy step shoes for climbing and the taxi pack to carry items or characters. It also covers key transformations found here, turning Banjo and Kazooie into a baby or daddy Trex, each offering unique advantages. Screenshots showcase various boss encounters like Terry the Pterodactyl and the internal battle against Chomposaurus's stomach ulcers, alongside specific puzzles like rescuing Terry's eggs or helping the Oogle Boogles. A map key is included to help navigate the complex terrain and locate important items and characters like Jinjos and Mumbo Jumbo. The guide offers concise tips for overcoming the world's main obstacles and obtaining the 10 Jiggies. This page provides a comprehensive guide to Gruntilda's Industries, the industrial world in Banjo-Tooie. It describes the factory as unsanitary but secure, and explains how to reach it via the quagmire using springy step shoes. The guide details the 10 Jiggy challenges found across the factory's multiple floors, including tasks like hitting toxic barrels, fixing ventilation grates, cleaning robotic bunnies, filthy bunnies, navigating the waste disposal plant, and sorting Twinklies in the packing department. It also highlights essential new abilities, like the claw clamber boots for climbing marked walls, the snooze pack for healing, and the leg spring for high jumps, along with Mumbo's electromagnetic pulse spell and Woomba's washer transformation, which are key to progressing. The page also provides specific instructions on how to locate and rescue the 5 Jinjos hidden throughout the level, often requiring the split-up ability or specific moves. The content is clearly a helpful walkthrough, designed to guide players through this complex and challenging world. This page delves into Hailfire Peaks, a dynamic world split between fiery lava and icy tundra. It serves as a comprehensive guide, featuring a map detailing the level's layout and numbered points corresponding to the 10 key Jiggy challenges. These challenges require players to navigate treacherous environments, interact with characters like Boggy and Saberman, solve puzzles involving transformations like the Snowball, and utilize key abilities. The guide highlights essential moves for this area, including the Shack Pack for protection and exploration, and the Glide ability for traversal. It also provides details on locating the hidden Jinjos scattered throughout the hot and cold sides of the peaks. This page guides you through the surreal Cloud Cuckoo Land, a bizarre floating world high above Isle of Hags. The level features a map showing its distinct areas and how you'll use Blastoplants to launch between key points marked by numbers. The guide details the 10 Jiggy challenges found here, including racing Canary Mary, exterminating eyeball plants, clearing out Guffo's trash can, navigating the Jelly Castle, solving a combination puzzle, and completing a triathlete event. You'll learn new abilities, like the Sack Pack from Sergeant Jamjars, transform into a bee with Humba Wumba for flight, and use Mumbo's rain dance to grow plants. Discover hidden Jinjos, and learn about the strange floatium creatures that allow Banjo to float briefly. This page covers the multiplayer aspects of Banjo-Tooie, specifically the Breegull Blaster Arenas. It highlights the game's deathmatch mode, which adapts the familiar GoldenEye interface for 4-player action. The guide details 3 competitive maps: Target Sand's Temple, Ordnance Storage, and Clinker's Cavern, offering strategic tips for each. A map key shows the locations and types of eggs and items like the honeypot scattered throughout the arenas. The page also briefly mentions the final confrontation with Grunty. The rest of the spread is a vibrant advertisement for NBA Jam 2001 on Game Boy Color, showcasing high-flying basketball action and features like special moves and player hotspots. This page is split, featuring coverage of upcoming Game Boy Color titles. On the left, Nintendo Power takes an in-depth look at how the expansive worlds of Might and Magic have been successfully translated to the handheld. The article highlights two distinct games arriving in February: Warriors of Might and Magic, an action-packed adventure, and Heroes 2 of Might and Magic, a strategy and resource management experience. Screenshots showcase the different gameplay styles for both titles, demonstrating the developer's ability to bring the series' complexity to the Game Boy Color platform. The right side of the page is a vibrant advertisement for Imagination, another adventure game encouraging players to unleash their imagination, also set to release in February for Game Boy Color. This page is dedicated to classified information, offering secrets, codes, tricks, and cheats for various games. The introduction announces this as the go-to source for such tips. The main focus is on Perfect Dark, providing multiple cheats. One tip reveals how to access GoldenEye 007 guns in the Carrington Institute firing range by earning all gold medals. Another cheat explains a method using two controllers to easily breeze through combat simulator challenges by loading a custom scenario with meat sims. There is also a hint about finding perfect ammo beneath stairs and a mysterious grating in the warehouse multiplayer level. A large section features Redline bicycles and their Revolution campaign, including mentions of specific models and riders. This page continues the classified information section, packed with secrets and cheats for 64 hits. For Rush 2049 fans, you'll find codes for everything from accessing the cheat menu and getting all cars, to changing colors, having heavy cars and super tires, invisible tracks, and even multicolored fog. The Code Cop is on duty, debunking a Pokemon Red/Blue rumor about finding Lugia where Mewtwo is caught. Don't waste your time on that one. Ogre Battle 64 players can access a music test or delete save data using character names. Zelda Ocarina of Time offers a nifty trick to get a powerful, unbreakable club from a broken Deku stick, though beware of losing it if you switch items or touch water. Finally, a Quake 2 password is provided to unlock a challenging secret level, the Chamber of Horrors, set to easy mode. This page continues the classified information section. Shifting focus to secrets in the world is not enough, 007, and The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. For the Bond game, it details how to unlock built-in cheats like alternate character skins, multiplayer levels, and game modes by beating specific levels within challenging time limits on various difficulty settings. This allows players to expand the game's multiplayer options significantly. The page also delves into Majora's Mask, highlighting the quest to collect 20 happy masks. It specifically explains how to obtain the Great Fairy Mask, which grants magic power and attracts stray fairies, and the Bremen Mask from Guru Guru, used for marching animals. Collecting all masks unlocks a powerful final transformation. The section encourages players to uncover these secrets to enhance their gameplay experience. This page continues the guide to secrets in The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, detailing how to obtain various masks and their uses. It covers the bunny hood, received from Grog at Romani Ranch, which increases movement speed. Kamaro's Mask, from Kamaro in North Termina Field, lets you dance. The Mask of Truth, from the cursed Skulltula man at the Swamp Spider House, allows communication with gossip stones and animals. The Mask of Sense, given by the Deku Butler in the Deku Cave, helps you find scents, like mushrooms. The Blast Mask, from the old lady at the bomb shop in North Clock Town, acts as a reusable bomb. Dongero's Mask, obtained from a hungry Goron in Mountain Village, gathers frogs. Romani's Mask, from Cremia in Termina Field, grants access to the milk bar. Gatto's Mask, earned by racing the Gorman brothers, lets you speak with Gatto spirits. Finally, the Circus Leader's Mask, given by Gorman at the milk bar after playing the Ballad of the Windfish, reflects his sadness. The page features screenshots showing each mask and key moments in obtaining them. The next page continues the extensive guide to obtaining and using masks in Majora's Mask. It details how to get the stone mask for camouflage from Shiro, the captain's hat from Captain Kita to command Stalfos, and the Gibdo's Mask from Pamela's father to interact with mummies. The Cafe's Mask aids in the search for the missing groom, and the all-night mask lets you endure a long story for a reward. The powerful giant's mask is essential for fighting the boss Twin Mold. A major section outlines the complex Endless Love questline involving Cafe and Anju, which spans 3 days and rewards you with the Keaton Mask, Postman's Hat, and Couple's Mask. Finally, the legendary Fierce Deity's Mask, obtained by gathering all 20 other masks on the moon, transforms you into a powerful warrior for boss battles. Collecting the masks also reveals cinema scenes showcasing the positive impact on Terminus citizens. This page features an advertisement for Songbird ocarinas, highlighting their connection to the Legend of Zelda titles like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, which makes perfect sense given the instrument's prominence in those games. It shows 2 styles, the sweet potato and the pendant, and includes testimonials from customers praising their quality and playability for Zelda songs. The page also presents a brief look at the N64 game Tom and Jerry in Fists of Fury, an animated fighting game featuring the classic cartoon duo. Screenshots illustrate the slapstick combat players can expect in this title from New Kid Co. This page dives deeper into the mechanics of Tom and Jerry in Fists of Fury. Building on the previous introduction, it details various power-ups like invincibility, attack boosts, and the green gas effect, alongside defensive tactics such as catching thrown objects. Combat tips include punching objects at opponents for major damage, ducking attacks, and utilizing bombs effectively. The guide also highlights specific levels like Duck Duck Loose with its falling wall hazard and the similar garden and backyard stages, noting their unique environmental strategies. Finally, it explains the process of unlocking additional characters and the team play mode by completing the game with various characters. This page delves into more of the Chowtic arenas in Tom and Jerry in Fists of Fury. It details the kitchen levels, highlighting environmental hazards like falling clocks and cabinets in the kitchen, and the dangerous stove in Cooking Up a Storm. The alley is full of urban hazards including steam vents and flower pots. Bomb Voyage takes the fight to a cruise ship deck with falling bells and risky pipes. You'll explore the dangerous Laboratory Retriever, a boss area with falling goo and energy flares, and the Chowtic floorboard basement with its steam and falling anvils. Finally, The Mice Before Christmas offers a festive setting with dangerous mantle objects and a fiery hazard. The Furry Finale section sums up the game's enjoyable cartoon style and action. This page previews 2 distinct Game Boy Color adventures. On the left, we see Tweety's High-Flying Adventure, featuring the iconic canary alongside Looney Tunes friends like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Tweety is off on a global quest to collect Putty Tat Paw prints, promising 1 or 2 player action inspired by a feature-length movie. Screenshots show colorful, cartoon-style gameplay environments. Featured on the right is Mega Man Stream. This title throws Mega Man X into a crisis, where rogue data files have corrupted a computer core. Players guide X through challenging stages to confront enemies from his past, including classic Maverick bosses reimagined for the Game Boy Color, in an effort to regain control and face the mysterious Shadow Hunters. Screenshots highlight the familiar platforming and combat mechanics. The next page delves deeper into Mega Man Stream, focusing on 2 key stages. First up is the intro stage, aptly titled Deja Vu All Over Again, which mirrors the opening of the original Mega Man X for Super NES. You'll navigate a broken bridge, facing familiar foes like rolling discs and robotic grabbers, and ultimately confronting Vava in a robotic suit at the end, just like old times. The page also details the Chill Penguin stage, highlighted as a good starting point among the selectable levels. This cold cavern challenges you with robotic bats and rolling discs. The Chill Penguin boss is described as attacking with ice and wind, using ice balls and blocks you must break through. The page also briefly introduces Zero, providing advice as the Maverick Hunter's leader, and MIDI, a computer expert who helps with connections. The next page continues the guide for Mega Man Stream, detailing the Spark Mandrill and Storm Eagle stages. The Spark Mandrill section describes navigating the high-voltage hideout with fluctuating lights, highlighting where to obtain the leg upgrade and find a sub-tank hint. It also covers strategies for the Hydrobot and Robot Rage enemies, culminating in a boss guide suggesting the use of shotgun ice against Spark Mandrill. For the Storm Eagle stage, set in a rundown airport, the guide points out locations for an extra life and the head upgrade provided by Dr. Light. The boss strategy focuses on dealing with Storm Eagle's wind attacks by using the dash ability and attacking with the X-Buster when the wind subsides. Finally, the page introduces Zane, a shadow hunter guarding the computer core, whose attacks are best dealt with by simply avoiding them. This page details the Flame Stag stage and the first section of the core in Mega Man Stream. In the Flame Stag stage, you face a lava-filled volcano with crumbling platforms and rising lava, requiring quick reflexes. The guide highlights the Heat Rises section with its rising lava challenge, encountering the Dozer Beetle outside, finding a drive, light upgrade for the head part, and a key encounter with the Shadow Hunter Zane before the boss. The Flame Stag boss is a fast, fiery opponent who uses slashing attacks. Defeating him involves extinguishing his flame and using storm tornadoes. Moving to the core stage 1, this section brings you face to face with the Shadow Hunters. Zane makes a return appearance with a new, more aggressive spin attack. You also battle armored knights who toss Ballanchain weapons, needing timed attacks. The guide points out areas for last chance pickups before the boss. The core spider boss controls the first part of the stage with its web attacks. Defeat it by attacking when it descends after clearing the smaller spiders. The page also introduces Techno, the mastermind hacker behind the Shadow Hunters. The next page continues the walkthrough for the core in Mega Man Stream. Stage 2 tests your climbing and jumping skills through sections like Dangerous Flight and Free Falling, where you ride platforms and navigate spikes, and battles against a big bot and a boss machine. The guide emphasizes grabbing ledges and timing jumps. Stage 3 is the deepest part, featuring repeat battles against previous bosses in the Repeat Offenders section, before a high climb leads to the final confrontation. The ultimate opponent is Sigma, the leader of the Shadow Hunters, known for his incredible speed and power. The Extreme Finish section advises concentrating, reading boss patterns, and executing flawless plans to defeat the Shadow Hunters, securing the fate of Hunter Base. The page also introduces Gimel, one of the most feared Shadow Hunters, and Sigma's right hand. This page features an advertisement for the Nintendo 64 game Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, highlighting its multiple playable characters, innovative combat, and exploration of ancient Greece. The main content focuses on Pokémon, specifically the second-generation Pokémon from the upcoming Gold and Silver games. It promises to reveal the last 8 English names next month, while showcasing 8 new Pokémon this month: Ursaring, Yanma, Tyrogue, Politoed, Lantern, Quillfish, Xatu, and Smoochum. There are also hints for finding some of these creatures in the Gold and Silver games, suggesting locations like the Daycare Center and MT Mortar. The next page dives into Pokemon tips for Gold and Silver, with the PokeChat and Pokemon University sections hosted by Professor Elm and Oak. In a Q&A format, they cover essential questions like what to do with the red scale, how to evolve to Jeppy using friendly evolution, and where to find Heracross by headbutting trees. Professor Elm and Oak provide expert advice on obtaining evolutionary stones by showing specific Pokemon to Bill's grandfather, tracking down the legendary Lugia and Who using their respective wings, and even tackling the tricky Puzzle League chains with visual examples. There are helpful screenshots showing evolutions like Eevee turning into Umbreon, and key locations for legendary Pokemon. They also confirm you can play Gold and Silver on a Game Boy Advance. This page jumps into the world of Pokemon battling, specifically at the Coliseum, where trainers showcase their teams. It features Andy Schaefer's team from Pokemon Yellow, Raichu, Dugtrio, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, and Mr. Mime, outlining their movesets. The analysis points out strengths like type diversity and good speed, but notes weaknesses like move redundancy and dependence on aggressive attacks, suggesting ways to improve the team. Screenshots show in-game battles, likely from Pokemon Stadium or a linked battle. The page also covers Hot Off the Press, reviewing Pokemon Pop-Tarts and cereal. Nintendo Power Staff members share their thoughts on these themed foods, complete with a photo of them trying the snacks. It's a fun look at both strategic battling and Pokemon merchandise. This page features a Pokemon comic strip. Ash, Brock, and Misty encounter a cut-rope bridge and realize it was sabotaged. Heracross appears, obsessed with tree sap, attracting a Pinsir. Heracross then demonstrates its strength by knocking down a large tree, creating a makeshift bridge over the chasm. The group crosses, though Misty is apprehensive. Meanwhile, Togepi wanders off. The comic concludes with the appearance of Team Rocket, Jesse and James, who have been observing the events and are ready to cause trouble. This page continues the Pokemon comic. Team Rocket is shown to be hungry and starving. They discover a gooey sap on a tree that smells good but looks disgusting. Meowth tries it and loves it. Declaring Meowth likes it, they reveal their plan. They built a mechanical pincer to suck up all the sap in the forest to create a new product called Rocket Sauce, anticipating getting rich. On the next page, they bring out their Pokemon, Lickitung and Victreebel. But Lickitung starts licking the sap, making Jessie yell at it for not attacking the twerp. Victreebel is also present. Seeing the sap disappearing, Meowth activates their Super Pinsir robot. The giant robot appears and begins collecting the sap, with Team Rocket boasting about its capabilities. The next page shows Josh sending out Bulbasaur to battle the mechanical pincer using Razor Leaf, which just tinkles off the metal. Team Rocket gloats that Bulbasaur thought it could stop them. Ash then tries Pikachu's Thunder Shock attack, but Team Rocket reveals the robot absorbs electric attacks and can shock back. The robot unleashes a massive electric shock, hitting Ash, Brock, Misty, and Pikachu. They are clearly in pain, saying, "Arg! Ash, recovering, tells Bulbasaur to use Vine Whip, wrapping the robot up. The robot starts spinning rapidly, whipping Bulbasaur around. The next page continues the confrontation with the Robo-Pinsir. Team Rocket gloats, promising the twerps a power failure. The group sees the robot approaching rapidly and wonders what to do. Suddenly, Heracross appears with a GRRR ramp and crashes into the Robo-Pinsir with a powerful BWAAM. The group realizes it's Heracross and decides if they hurry, they can take the sap tank away from the robot. Meanwhile, Team Rocket is dismayed, realizing Heracross is attacking their robot. Jessie and James argue over who should handle it, then express shock with ULP as Heracross flings the robot with a fling sound effect. They yell "No!" and "Ah!" as Heracross continues its attack. The Robo-Pinsir explodes with a shboom, and the group notes that Team Rocket is flying off again, accompanied by a shwee sound effect as they disappear into the sky. This page concludes the short Pokemon comic storyline, showing Heracross defeating the Robo-Pinsir and restoring the Pinsir's habitat. Ash successfully catches Heracross, who joins the group as they continue their adventure. The right side is a large advertisement for the Game Boy Color game Robopond. Build 'em, collect 'em, trash 'em, showcasing the Sun version. It highlights key features like the built-in IR port for trading and the built-in speaker, allowing players to collect, trade, and battle over 150 customizable robots. This page is the Counselor's Corner, offering vital gaming advice. It covers how to destroy the videotape backup in the world is not enough, explaining the process of finding the VCR and using the data scrambler. For The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, it details how to find Kume the cruise manager in the Woods of Mystery, noting her location changes based on the day and providing a helpful map. It also instructs players on learning the Song of Soaring by visiting Kaepora Gaebora at the Woodfall Owl statue. Finally, it provides tips on defusing a bomb in the underground uprising level of a spy/shooter game, describing the careful timing needed with the bomb disposal kit. These tips are crucial for getting past some tricky spots in these titles. This page continues the Counselor's Corner, providing valuable strategies for challenging moments in several games. For Perfect Dark, it details how to best rescue hostages in the Carrington Institute level by using the combat boost strategically, and explains how to identify temple targets in the final mission, emphasizing the use of the Star Tracker and careful placement of target amplifiers before the timed explosion. Dragon Warrior players receive guidance on locating keys in the first game and reviving fallen party members in the second by visiting a temple. The page concludes with a quick cue and a section offering fast facts for Tigger's Honey Hunt, Mario Tennis, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, answering common questions about gameplay mechanics, collectibles, and save data. This page dives into the world of Metal Walker for Game Boy Color. It sets the scene in a junk-filled wasteland, where you search for your missing father, collecting and upgrading mechanical allies. The article highlights the unique battle system, stressing the importance of learning how your walker bounces off walls and enemies. It features a map of the game's rusted land, advising players that some areas are gated by core units. There's also a section on shopping at the junk shop to convert scrap metal into items and weapons, and a guide on analyzing enemies to gain crucial data. The battle strategies emphasize using the environment for multi-hits and reveals an escape route in battle arenas. This page continues the Metal Walker Guide by detailing essential game mechanics and early locations. It covers capsules, which are special attacks and items, explaining that while random initially, you can find recipes later. The guide advises new players to use the analyzer frequently and stay near their base camp until gaining experience. It then explores key areas like South End City for hints and supplies, the base camp with its amenities and the battle arena, and the initial destination, the chemical plant, where you face the Metal Master boss and acquire a new core unit. The page also explains the evolution of your metal ball into different core units like Metal Frog and Elim Launches, noting their distinct abilities and a rock-paper-scissors dynamic between types. Finally, it introduces the command base area and the recurring rival, Bado, who challenges you multiple times. This page continues the Metal Walker Guide, leading you through more key locations. You'll explore the army area, defeat a Metal Master to rescue Emil, and gain a Marine Corps unit, but he's immediately kidnapped. Head back to the battle arena to prepare, then visit Blue Harbor and Radar Base A, where you face another Metal Master, acquire a Land Corps unit, and find recipes. The guide covers North Head Town, the vast desert land with its focus on landwalkers, and the need for HP capsules, Westside City, and Chrome Harbor, which are good for leveling but have no readily available core units initially. It details the challenging air front, another encounter with Bado, and the optional Radar Base B for a Skycorps unit, and more recipes. Finally, it touches on the peaceful Red Harbor, and the boss fight, waiting in Evergreen, where you meet Dolphy and Marina to learn more about your father. This page continues the Metal Walker Guide, picking up after Evergreen. You'll navigate the maze-like bronze rocks, facing enemy walkers and meeting the Old Man, before heading to the energy plant where Marina is kidnapped, and you can acquire a powerful Skycorps unit after defeating a Metal Master. The guide also details the special combined core units you can find, like the Land and Marine Corps, before reaching Neo City, the site of the final battle against your father. The commentary on Metal Walker notes it's a solid, collection-based game with over 40 hours of content, perfect for patient players and fans of the genre. The page also features a large advertisement for Disney's The Emperor's New Groove on Game Boy Color, highlighting the game's theme of being all about Kuzco, and featuring screenshots and the box art. This page is a Walmart advertisement showcasing Nintendo games and accessories at always low prices. It features various Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color titles, including Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, Banjo-Tooie, Mickey's Speedway USA, Hey You, Pikachu, Donkey Kong Country, Pokémon Gold and Silver, and Pokémon Pikachu 2, along with guidebooks, controllers, and an expansion pack. This page features the A Bone to Pick contest, giving players a chance to win some awesome prizes related to The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. The grand prize is a seriously cool, one-of-a-kind, Zora-style fishbone guitar custom-made by Jackson Guitars, just like the one played by the late Indiegogo's frontman, Mikao. The winner also gets a copy of Majora's Mask. Second prize winners get a Majora's Mask game pack and a handcrafted Zelda mask, while 53rd prize winners will snag a Nintendo-powered t-shirt. The page includes all the details on how to enter and the official sweepstakes rules. This page provides a comprehensive guide for Star Wars. Episode 1. Obi-Wan's Adventures on Game Boy Color. It walks players through key gameplay mechanics and trouble spots encountered by young Obi-Wan Kenobi during his journey through the events of The Phantom Menace. The guide covers essential elements like managing your health, using the Force for telekinesis, utilizing blaster ammo, and mastering combat techniques like deflecting lasers. It also offers specific tips and map segments for navigating the Trade Federation ship and landing craft, explaining how to disable laser barriers, destroy repulsor field generators, and ultimately reach the ship's guidance console, referencing helpful screenshots of the isometric gameplay view. It's a solid resource for Padawans needing help on their adventure. This page offers an in-depth strategy guide for the Game Boy Color title, Star Wars, Episode I Obi-Wan's Adventures. It breaks down several pivotal levels, including the Naboo Swamp, the Sacred Place, the city planet of Coruscant, the catacombs beneath the Seeds, and the very streets of the Seed itself. You'll find essential tips for overcoming obstacles, like sinking ground, timed jumps, using the Force on interactive elements, and dealing with various enemies like Trade Federation droids and bounty hunters. The guide features clear screenshots and specific advice on tackling key challenges within each area, providing valuable assistance for navigating Obi-Wan's quest to liberate Naboo. This page concludes the guide for Star Wars. Episode 1. Obi-Wan's Adventures, detailing the final levels. It provides strategies for navigating Queen Amidala's palace, from bypassing security to rescuing the queen. The guide then focuses on the climactic final battle against Darth Maul on level 9, offering tips for survival in the limited arena. A review highlights the game's unique focus on Obi-Wan's journey. The page also features Monster Rancher Explorer, described as an action/adventure puzzler, where exploring ruins and solving puzzles is crucial to uncovering artifacts and unlocking monsters. This page dives into the world of Robopon, Sun version for the Game Boy Color. It's all about building, collecting, and battling mechanical creatures. You'll learn how to combine software to give your Robopon special abilities, and understand the attribute-based battle system, determining advantages and disadvantages in combat. The game puts you in charge of the family business, with the goal of becoming the greatest Robopon collector. The page highlights different types of Robopon, like Arm type for attacking, Move type for skill games, and Boot type for defense, some of which can evolve. Towns offer essential services like shops for items, parts, and software, a repair shop, and a laboratory for evolution. You can also find items scattered around the island. It looks like a fun take on the creature collecting genre with a unique mechanical twist. This page delves deeper into the world of Robopon, guiding you through the key locations on Porombo Island. You start in Capri Town, home of your family's Robopon dispatching company, where you'll encounter Bisco's gang and challenge the Elite Eight. From there, you venture to Kaliu Town, the broadcasting hub with its unique TV-based travel system, leading you to places like the Big Tower and Small Tower. You'll also meet Sandy and help Dude find a crucial item for exploring Arabu Cave in Vanza Village. Libra Town is centered around the school and a major tournament, requiring you to defeat the teachers and face Bisco again. Finally, Tail Castle serves as the ultimate battleground where legend status is fought for, while Carol Village presents a side quest involving the Smiley Group. The page highlights key encounters and objectives in each area, expanding on the game's journey. This page continues the Robopon adventure, guiding you through more areas of Porombo Island. You'll help clean up Coolstown, earning access to an underground village. Then, brave Apollo Fort's challenge towers to prove your skills before facing Kamat. Explore Grease Mountain with your Psycool, tackling obstacles and defeating Legend Number 5. Journey to Poro Village, the jump-off point for Bird Island, and delve into Ghana Lake, an underwater town where you'll fish and find hidden bombs. Dine Town lets you join Kamat's army after passing a test, leading you back to Apollo Fort. Finally, Meiji Forest hides Professor Donald's lab, reachable by following signs and solving puzzles, like the one to find Old Man Brownie. The page highlights key characters like Dr. Disc and crucial items needed for progression. This page continues the Robopon guide, taking you through key areas like Gold Plain, where you confront Drive Zero, and Owari Forest, where he attempts to trap you. The guide details meeting Prince Tail at Cherry Hills Training Caves and searching for treasure there. The final challenges are set at Zero Castle, for the ultimate battle against Drive Zero, for the title of Legend Number 1. A section highlights a character called the Sun Suits, and notes the game's similarities to Pokemon. The right side features a large electronics boutique advertisement offering a free Pokemon Pikachu item with the purchase of Pokemon games and listing various other Game Boy Color titles available, like Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, and Zelda, Link's Awakening DX. The next page details the Powerpuff Girls' debut on the Game Boy Color with 2 titles, Paint the Townsville Green and Bad Mojo Jojo. Join Blossoms, Bubbles, and Buttercup in their fight against evil before bedtime. The games feature fast-paced action across multiple levels, with unlockable bonus content. Collect various Powerpuff power-ups like Candy Hearts for energy, Red Chemical X for temporary invincibility, or combine Sugar, Spice, and Everything Nice for extra power. You'll face classic villains like the Gangrene Gang and Mojo Jojo's minions, rescuing citizens along the way. Use the Powerpuff Girls hotline for devastating special attacks, and earn a lot of heart by defeating bosses to advance through the city and save the day. This page dives into the specifics of the Powerpuff Girls Game Boy Color titles, Paint the Townsville Green and Bad Mojo Jojo. Paint the Townsville Green features Buttercup taking on Ace and the Gangrene Gang across diverse locations like Pokeoak School, the Townsville Dump, Art Museum, Subway, and Streets, facing off against familiar foes such as Snake, Grubber, the Bullies, and Fuzzy Lumpkins. The game descriptions and screenshots highlight the various level designs and boss encounters Buttercup must overcome. Bad Mojo Jojo centers On Blossom's mission to stop Mojo Jojo's chows, you'll explore areas like the Utonium Chateau, Bonsai Garden, and Townsville Subway, battling Mojo's forces and rescuing key characters like Professor Utonium and the Mayor. Encounters include facing Princess and confronting Mojo Jojo himself in various forms, including his powerful mechanical suit and a hover suit. The detailed level breakdowns and screenshots give a great look at the challenges and action-packed gameplay players can expect in these two adventures. This page concludes the Look at the Powerpuff Girls Game Boy Color games, detailing the remaining levels in Townsville Streets where Buttercup takes on the Roach Coach and Volcano Mountain where Blossom confronts Mr. Mojo Rising. It highlights unlockable content, explaining that watching the Cartoon Network show can reveal passwords for new levels and trading cards. You can collect electronic trading cards within the game, and even trade them with friends using a Game Link cable. The page then jumps to Blues Brothers 2000 for the Nintendo 64, featuring the band members in a cool claymation style. This game promises a mix of platforming and rhythm action as you jump, punch, and dance your way through 4 worlds, solve puzzles, rescue band members, collect instruments, and even challenge friends in a multiplayer dance contest. This page dives into the world of Game Boy Color games, specifically highlighting the rise of extreme sports titles. Road Champs BXS Stunt Biking is the main focus, reviewed as an instant addiction, with impressive controls and fast, engaging gameplay. The game offers a detailed career mode, starting with training and progressing through various challenges like speed, street, course, variety, and vertical stunts, before reaching tournaments. It features over 50 tricks to master and emphasizes variety and earning points. The page also mentions other Game Boy Color titles available this month, including Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX, MTV Sports, TJ Levin's Ultimate BMX, Walt Disney's The Jungle Book, World Destruction League, Thunder Tanks, Hoyle Card Games, Cannon Fodder, Monster Rancher Explorer, Army Men, Air Combat, and Grand Theft Auto 2. Road Champs BXS is recommended as a fast-paced, high-flying gem. This page continues the look at Game Boy Color BMX games, comparing Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX and MTV Sports. TJ Levin's Ultimate BMX. Dave Mirra stands out with its 3D perspective courses, focusing on completing goals like collecting items and performing tricks. And it even features a 2-player mode. TJ Levin's title showcases a lineup of real-life pro riders you can choose from and offers different course types like freestyle, halfpipe, and dirt track. The gameplay differs as your character pedals automatically, leaving you to focus on tricks. It also includes an upgrade system to improve your bike. The next page features 2 exciting Game Boy Color titles. First up is Disney's The Jungle Book, Mowgli's Wild Adventure, hailed as an extraordinary game. It's a smooth, side-scrolling platformer where you guide Mowgli, learning essential survival skills like swinging, jumping, and using objects across varied jungle levels filled with bosses and traps. There are even racing levels and vertical challenges. Alongside it is WDL, Thunder Tanks, a high-octane tank combat game spinning off from Battle Tanks. It centers on intense missions rather than just death matches, offering 12 unique drivers and 7 different environments. The game emphasizes battle tactics, from destroying structures and collecting power-ups to using strategy maps and knowing when to retreat. It's all about mastering your unique tank and completing diverse objectives, like protecting landmarks or battling in iconic locations. The next page delves into more Game Boy Color titles, featuring a diverse lineup. First up is Hoyle Card Games, a comprehensive collection perfect for players who enjoy classic card games without the hassle of shuffling. It boasts 14 different games, including popular ones like Hearts, Solitaires, and Spades, offering a mix of simple and complex rules with various opponents and multiplayer options. Next is Cannon Fodder, a unique war game that surprisingly makes combat fun, with its challenging missions across varied landscapes and enjoyable graphics. Finally, Monster Rancher Explorer takes players on a puzzling adventure, climbing a mystical tower, building and breaking boxes, battling unique monsters and bosses, and even allowing you to create your own levels. This page showcases more Game Boy Color adventures. First up is Army Men Air Combat, bringing the classic green versus tan battle to the skies. You command Captain William Blade, leading the Green Army through 16 missions across treacherous real-world landscapes like backyards. The game features helicopter action with winch capabilities for picking up power-ups and slightly homing weapons. Next is Grand Theft Auto 2, described as a controversial carjacking extravaganza expertly ported to the Game Boy. You work for different gangs, completing missions across expansive cities. The game highlights the freedom to choose jobs and the importance of stocking up on weapons. It's noted that this version is rated teen and not recommended for those under 13. Finally, Dragon's Lair arrives on Game Boy Color. Play as Dirk the Daring, on a quest to rescue Princess Daphne from the evil dragon Singe. Your journey takes you through a wizard-enchanted castle, filled with monsters, traps, and obstacles. A true test of skill for any brave adventurer. This page reviews more recent releases. First is Pokémon Puzzle Challenge for Game Boy Color, a fun and addictive Tetris attack variant that successfully integrates the Pokémon theme, letting players catch Pokémon through combos and chains. Viewers find it incredibly engaging and challenging. Next up is Spider-Man on Nintendo 64. This superhero title from Activision captures Spider-Man's wall-crawling and web-slinging well, with dynamic moves, boss fights, and a great comic book feel, though reviewers noted it's somewhat short. Finally, Hype, The Time Quest, a Game Boy Color adventure based on Playmobil. It's a surprising mix of platforming and RPG light exploration, described as a competent medieval quest reminiscent of Zelda and Mario, praised for its variety, graphics, and accessible gameplay. This page reviews several new Game Boy Color titles. First up is Mega Man Stream, bringing the high-octane action of the X series to the handheld, with classic side-scrolling, Zero, and weapon upgrades that the reviewers felt captured the old-school Mega Man feel well. Then we look at Metal Walker, a unique RPG featuring mechanical battles with an interesting aiming mechanic, seen as a solid sci-fi adventure with a battle and collect system. We also cover Walt Disney's The Jungle Book, Mowgli's Wild Adventure, a charming side-scroller with platforming and puzzles, praised for its graphics and accessibility for younger audiences. Lastly, Star Wars Episode 1. Obi-Wan's Adventures is an action title following the movie's plot, featuring lightsaber combat, though some reviewers found it simple. Screenshots and box art are provided for each game. This page dives into more Game Boy Color titles. We start with the Powerpuff Girls, Paint the Townsville Green, a standard platformer where Buttercup takes center stage. Despite the license and promise of collectibles, reviewers found the game lacked excitement and suffered from awkward controls, making the basic act of flying difficult. It received a score of 2.5 stars. Elsewhere on the page, several other games get a brief spotlight in the Also Playing This Month section, including the irreverent shooter Cannon Fodder, the puzzle platformer Monster Rancher Explorer, the stunt-focused Road Champs BXS Stunt Biking, the helicopter action of Army Men, Air Combat, and the tank battles of World Destruction League. Thunder Tanks. These quick looks highlight diverse genres, with scores ranging from 3 to 4 stars. Finally, we examine Robopon, an RPG squarely in the monster collecting vein. While it includes unique features like a real-time clock and infrared capabilities, reviewers felt it was a blatant imitation of a popular series, with uninspired gameplay mechanics and presentation, earning it just 2 stars despite the potential for lengthy play. This page previews the exciting lineup coming in the next issue. We'll be diving deep into Paper Mario with a Sunday paper-sized review, covering everything from friends and enemies to items. Get ready for Star Wars Episode 1, Battle for Naboo, where you'll jump into a starfighter and help the cause. And check out the latest on the classic hero in Mega Man 64. Plus, look forward to coverage on Mario Tennis Game Boy Color. Also featured are previews for Pokémon Stadium 2, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, Return of the Ninja, Powerpuff Girls, Battle Hymn, Tom and Jerry and Mouse Attacks, Animorphs, and Bust-A-Move Millennium. There's also information on fixing broken Nintendo systems through authorized repair centers or an express program, with various system repairs priced from $25 to $59. And finally, a listing of past issues of this publication is available for those looking to catch up on previous content. This page showcases essential resources for gamers, highlighting official Nintendo players' guides. Featured are guides for Pokémon Gold and Silver, Banjo-Tooie, and The Legend of Zelda. Majora's Mask, providing strategies for challenging battles, finding collectibles like Jinjos and Jiggies, and mastering complex games. The page emphasizes that these guides offer extensive information, including the Pokemon Gold version and Silver version complete Pokédex. They are available at retailers or directly via a phone number. The right side promotes the N-Crew online community at ncrew.com, inviting players to join for tips, news, game information, and potentially free content.